Hi there, my name's Dean Dunbar and behind me is the beautiful Loch Tay in Scotland. We're sitting currently at the Killen end of it and I'm about to stand up paddleboard the 23+K right down to Kenmore at the far end. Now that may not sound like a big deal to most stand-up paddleboarders. The difference is I'm registered blind. So here we are on the morning of Sunday the 20th of July on the beautiful Loch Tay. We've just set off from the Killen end, which is back over there, and we're heading down to the Kenmore end, which is down there. The total distance is approximately 23.5K. Loch Tay is said to be the coldest loch in Scotland. Many people who train for channel swimming or other swimming challenges come up here to get used to the cold water so that when they hit the channel or any other cold stretches, they're well prepared. Saying that, there's only been a handful of people who have actually swam the full length of it because of the cold. One of those is my former coach and good friend Colleen Blair, who in her own right is quite a legend in the open water swimming area. She swam the channel, she swam the North Channel, she swam Loch Tay. I think it was last year she was the first person to swim the Pentland Firth. This year she has another first coming up in the next couple of months. As I say, she's a total legend, and Loch Tay is her training ground. Normally in the summer, this loch can reach a balmy 14 degrees. Which compared to the English Channel, which in the summer can normally be about 16, 17, 18 to 20 on the far side, this is pretty chilly. But this year, people are saying that it's much warmer, and they reckon that it's a tropical 16 or 17 degrees at the moment. I've had my feet in the water, and I don't know if I would agree with it being that warm. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm doing this as a solo trip. For me, that's quite a big deal. Being registered blind, virtually every adventure that I've been on, which would be classed a proper adventure, whether it be swimming the Corrie of Wrekin, abseiling the UK's highest waterfall, speed riding, sea kayaking, all these things, I always do it with a guide. So I have someone to tell me to go left or right, stop, start, etc. So this is possibly, I think it is in fact, the first totally solo unguided trip I've ever done. I came here to Loch Tay last weekend to give it a try, just to have a wee play at one end. Ended up clocking out 25k, did 11k up against an 8-mile-per-hour headwind. Got up to 11k, turned around, went back and had a wee play around for another few k in the wind. It was pretty tough going. Today, the BBC assures me that the wind at the moment is somewhere around about the 4 miles per hour. But by the time I finish this trip, hopefully in around 4 hours, maybe 5, we might be closer to 7 or 8 again. Now obviously being registered blind, I don't have any real fantastic sight to pick out landmarks to say this is what I'm going to aim for and that's what I'm going to aim for. So at the moment, what I'm doing is I'm looking at the ridgeline in front of me. There's a big patch of black in front, which is obviously the ridgeline. I'm basically aiming for that. I think there's some sort of lump slightly to my 11 o'clock, so I'm going to use that until I get over to the far side, and then hopefully when I get to the far side I will be able to pick out the banking. The aim will be to travel somewhere around about 20-30 metres from that shore. That will be the south shore of Loch Tay. Now last week when I came up and did this, I thought I was travelling about 20 metres from the shore. I was speaking to some kayakers later who were praising me on how well I kept to the middle of the loch. So I'm not guaranteeing I will be 20 metres from the shore, but that's my target. It's a gorgeous hot day today. I think the weather feels around about 18 at the moment. Again, the BBC are saying that later on I think it's going to get up to about 22, possibly 23, which in Scotland is about as hot as it gets. So I'm sure at some point I may have to have a wee dip in the water just to cool myself down, take the edge off it. But at the moment I just need to be looking forward, focusing on that big lump, which is kind of disappearing again. Sometimes I see it, sometimes I don't. I have to move my eyes around a bit to try and catch it, either out the corner or different places due to my blind spots. No doubt I'll find that shortly, and then hopefully that'll be my deadline for the moment. So until then, I'm just going to keep paddling, and I'll let you guys enjoy the scenery. I'm just kneeling down to get myself out a little bit in case I do hit anything. And when I'm comfortable that I'm out, I'm happy that I'm out for a bit, I'll then stand back up again. That feels pretty deep again, let's go for it. Okay, I've got a new marker point ahead of me. Just sticking out, there seems to be a black lump sticking out. I'm guessing it's either a peninsula, a rock, tree, something like that. But I'm going to aim to just go to the left of that. I've no idea if it's 5 metres away, 500 metres away, or 5k away. But for the moment, that's my marker. Hi. Doing the things that I do, I'm very lucky to meet a lot of amazing, adventurous people. One of these people who's turned into be a very good friend of mine is a chap called Patrick Winterton. He's an amazing sea kayaker. He's up in the top people in the world for his kayaking, in fact, I would say. He's the first guy to paddle from Shetland to Norway, and also to paddle from Scotland over to the Faroe Islands. Neither of those are small feats, but to do both of them I think it's pretty impressive. He's also got a third, even bigger project underway, which I can't tell you anything about. If I told you, I'd have to shoot you. But anyway, one of his pieces of advice that he told me when I was saying about doing this is he says that when he's training and when he's actually on his adventures, he likes to work for 55 minutes and then stop for 5 minutes. That just gives him a chance to get some food and some liquids inside and just refuel basically. So I've taken his advice, so I've paddled for 55 minutes. And I'm very lucky to have stopped on a very nice little beach. I've got it all to myself, which is just wonderful. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to wade out now into the water and show the camera up the loch, see where I've paddled from. Now, as I said, I've been paddling about 55 minutes. So I'm hoping that I've cleared around about 5k. My plan is to try and do 5 to 6k an hour. I'm wading out, but I'm actually going to get very deep and start swimming in a minute, I think. So, so I can't really show you where I've come from, so I'll maybe show you from the boat, from the SUP in just a second or two. But basically, this is my surroundings, the view.
Hiya! Somebody's coming out to rescue you. You're doing a grand job, nearly there.
Okay, so that's us coming into Kenmore now. It's been a long old trek. Okay, we've had some fun. There's Croft and the cable there. There's Carrick. The island is over there somewhere. And where we want to go is somewhere in front. I need to make sure I get around these boys and don't get caught up in any ropes.
Hey sweetheart, well done!
Hey.
How you doing?
Good, all good.
Alright my darling, well done.
Yeah.
So tell us about the trip.
Oh, we had the wind wasn't behind us as the BBC said.
What, you? Plural? Is there lots of people on the board?
Lots of us, well, the wind was supposed to be coming up behind and it blew into the shore the whole continent of the way in.
Oh right.
So it was battling against that. It made it fun. We just couldn't get too close to shore without getting battered, so I had to come back out again. But generally good up to the hump. From the hump down it's just been plain sailing, so easy going.
Great, so that made a difference when you went round that bend?
It did, the hump made a huge difference. So yeah.
So you were getting pushed to the side, were you?
Yeah, getting hammered into the side all the time, but yeah, but we made it and that's great, so all good.
Well done, all on your own?
All on my own.
Brilliant.
Cheers down, alright.